What's up YouTube, Capital G here, looking at a brand new Six Samurai Trap support card coming out of Spirit Warriors, and yes, this time I am actually sure that this is Six Samurai support. I know that I said that Struggling Battle was Six Samurai support, which it obviously isn't. I kind of just made that statement based on the artwork of the card, but then a lot of people pointed out, they were like, yo Cap, obviously, you know, Gozen Match has Six Samurais on the card too. Would you consider that Samurai support? And I was like, oh shit, I think you're right, it's not a Samurai support card. But this one actually is, and I still think that the way Konami is taking the, you know, Six Samurai archetype, like the direction they're going in, I don't really think it makes a lot of sense. They're kind of doing the same thing with Red Eyes, but that ultimately did end up, like, those cards are actually pretty decent, but the new Samurai support is just, it's kind of weird to me. I don't know, it seems like if Konami really wanted to make Six Samurai competitive, they could do it relatively easy, because if you guys remember back in 5D, Storm of Ragnarok, when they released the tuners and the legendary Six Samurai with Shien and stuff, Six Samurai basically became tier 0 with 3 gateway for a couple of events, and the deck was fucking, it was damn near unbeatable. But you know, this support just seems to be weird. It's all around banishing from the graveyard and protecting your samurai on the field. It's a very different direction than samurai have gone in the past. But anyways, let's go ahead and look at this trap, because to me, Six Samurai traps have been kind of they've been hit and miss. You know, things like Back to the Wall, like, or Backs to the Wall, no one really plays that, but Magatama is pretty good. Double-edged sword technique has been pretty good, but some of the Six Samurai traps have been kind of crappy. So this is the Six Shinobi, and obviously on the artwork it has a bunch of Six Samurai. This card is hella situational. This is one of the most situational cards I think Konami has ever printed in like the 20 years of fucking Yu-Gi-Oh! It's a normal trap card. It says if you control six Samurai monsters, we got puns out there. It says monsters each with different attributes from the others, skip your opponent's next turn. So obviously, this card is damn near impossible to activate for 2 reasons. Number 1, you have to control 6 monsters. This is not a thing that's even possible right now in the game. Obviously, it will become possible when we get, you know, the new game board, and once we get the link mechanic and whatnot. If you have a monster in your extra monster zone, plus you have 5 monsters in your main monster zone, then, you know, obviously you have 6 monsters. But let's be real, how often do you really see that happening in Six Samurai? And then the monsters have to be all different elements, and you know, unless Konami has plans on making like a divine Six Samurai, that means you have to have pretty much every single attribute in the game. You gotta have earth, dark, light, wind, water, fire. Well, I mean, Six Samurai do have all of those attributes, which is fine, but I don't know, guys, like, how do you see yourself actually getting 6 monsters on the field? There's only a few ways I could see that happening. And even then, it would be kind of difficult, because most of those are involving traps like Backs to the Wall, or, you know, maybe a couple of copies of Double-Edged Sword technique, which that would obviously make this play hella slow. You could even, you know, hypothetically think of something like Soul Charge, which actually would be, I guess, fairly easy, but Soul Charge is a non-searchable limited card, and maybe in the OCG it's easier because they have 3 gateway, but in the TCG we don't even have gateway, so it's like, that's never gonna happen. And another problem that I have with this card is, obviously it's so situational that you're never gonna play this shit anyways, but why did they make it a trap? Like, making it a trap to me kind of defeats the purpose of the entire card. Like, this card should be kind of the ultimate reward for getting such a situational field. Like, I think that this card is basically like a win condition. Basically, when you flip this over, it should feel like you win, but the fact that it's a trap and not a spell means the first time you can actually have the opportunity to activate it is obviously during your opponent's draw phase, and it says skip your opponent's next turn, not skip their turn, so they still get that turn. And the thing is, like, think about it, right? So if you have 6 monsters on the field plus a trap card, what other resources do you really think that you have? You don't have any resources left. I mean, if your opponent just kaijus your Shien and then dark holes you, you just lose your entire fucking field, because you don't have any traps or any Magatamas or anything to actually protect you. So I don't know. I don't see this card ever really being played. It's so fucking situational. They could have at least made it a spell card. That way, if you activated it and you actually resolved this shit, you'd basically just be able to kill your opponent, because they would get no chance to play Yu-Gi-Oh, and then you'd just be able to attack during their next turn or during your next turn and just kill them. Actually, I do think that there is one really troll way to use this card. Now, it's not available in the TCG, so you won't be able to do this, but you could do it online, and that's actually using Junk Collector, right? So if you can get Junk Collector on the field, you guys know that I showed the video with the Magical Explosion Junk Collector and how trolly that build was. If you got Junk Collector on the field, this is basically like Diamond Dude. You banish Junk Collector, and then you banish the trap card, and you get to activate the trap card's effect. You don't need any Six Samurais. You don't even have to play them at that point. And if you get Junk Collector on the field, you could just activate Foolish Burial Goods, and you could throw the Six Shinobi in the graveyard and activate it that way. Now the question is, how exactly do you plan on killing your opponent? Like, you gotta find 8,000 damage, but it would be a hell of a lot easier than, you know, trying to get six Samurai on the field that all have different attributes. So I don't really know what the fuck Konami is doing with this new support. To be honest, this seems like fan service to the highest degree. Like, none of this new Six Samurai shit is actually good. I don't understand why they didn't just make a Link monster, make it like kind of broken, unban Gateway, give us another good support card, and just fucking call it a day. Have Six Samurai be tier 1 for like 6 months, and then just, you know, fucking limit the card like you did Shin. But I don't know, they're going down this weird path where the Samurai support is basically trash. So you guys let me know what you think. Actually, again, I think it's much easier to activate with Junk Collector than it is in Six Samurai, which is a shame. Whatever you guys believe or think, leave it in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already.